What's up? What's up, YouTube? Uncle Mike is back in the house, baby. Looking for some Diddy stuff. Yeah, that Diddy drama done slowed down, baby. It slowed down a lot. Check this out, man. Rest in peace to what's the guy named? The wrestler Hawk. Rest in peace to him. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Rest in peace to him. Rest in peace to Malcolm and all the other fallen soldiers, man. Malcolm was, oh my gracious. Every time I'm scrolling on something, I see his picture. But hey, this what's on my mind. Y'all want to know what's on Uncle Mike's mind? You ever have somebody that can point out every little thing you do wrong? They can show you all the stuff you doing wrong, but they just can't get their stuff together. They can't get their stuff together, but they can show you everything you doing wrong. And you just keep your mouth shut. You don't say nothing about all the money they owe you. You don't say nothing about none of this stuff. And I can talk about them. I can talk about all my friends because none of them support my channel, but yet they got their hand out. Not you guys. I'm talking about my friends I went to school with and hang with and all this type of stuff. And when they had parties, they called me, want me to bring the beer, stuff like that. You know, I had to stop all that stuff. Anyway, it's weird, man. One of these days, I'm going to tell them, I'm going to kirk off and tell them about themselves, man. That's what I'm going to do. But, hey, check this out, man. Let's get to this video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, man. Diddy gets very bad news, man. Diddy gets very bad news. Brace for heavy sentencing after judge latest request. I don't think I'm trying to put what I think on as many videos as I can. The maximum for both of those charges is 10 years apiece. I don't think he's gonna do 10 years apiece. I don't even think he's gonna do 10 years. I think the judge is gonna say, okay, I'm being fair. I could give you 10 years, so I'm just gonna give you 5. I kept you in jail, so 1 year is already done. So that'll give him 4 years if he'll get out with good behavior. So he gonna be in jail for about 3-ish years, around 3 years. Now, if the judge give him 4 years, I'm like, oh man, if he get anything less than 4 years as a sentence, y'all know that all this stuff is crooked and fixed and there's a lot of money being exchanged behind the doors. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. So that's my belief. If he get less than 5 years, anywhere under 4, there's some crooked stuff going on. When you a judge and you got people writing letters begging you not to let the man out, yeah, something ain't right. So anyway, man, let me give them a thumbs up. Y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell.
Guys, it's your favorite federal informant. Listen, you guys, I am on vacation, but I wanted to pop in and talk about this thing that's going on. I know you guys heard about it. A lot of people have questions. I wanted to come and address it. If you guys don't know, Diddy told the defense in the prosecution that he wants them both to turn in similar cases like Diddy's. Okay. And by similar, it means you got convicted of 1 or 2 things of the Mann Act and you had no criminal priors. Now, a lot of the Diddy goons, the Diddy idiots were like, ooh, Diddy gonna walk? He ain't even been doing jail time. To which I said, okay, stop. Okay, Diddy might have beat Rico. Okay. And it was a crushing buy. Oh, it was a crushing blow to victims, to women, to anybody that doesn't stand with abuse, right? Diddy beat Rico. But there's more to that story, but let's stick on topic. And apparently the jury said, we don't care what happened with Jane and Cassie, but because you were their boyfriend or their man,
and no longer has a voice who will pursue justice for her accusation.
The one thing that kept coming up that a lot
as of the taken against Diddy, no expansion of the investigation, no isolation orders, no equipment access, no suspension of attorney communication.
I did some research. I talked to my legal people
and people talk about my videos, right? You see that big mistake and they talk about my videos. Let's just keep going. I'm just saying.
So, whenever I take notes, this is going to be good. Okay. Now, what did the judge ask for? He asked for comparable case law or statistics on similar Mann convictions. Now, first of all, this request is not unusual, but it is never neutral. It usually signals one or two things. One, that the judge is exploring options to justify a lighter sentence or release, especially if they're asking about parole eligibility, probation, or sentencing ranges. Two, the judge is building a case for why Diddy should not get leniency. By establishing how others were treated in similar cases, they could argue that letting Diddy off lightly would be inconsistent or unjustified. So the big question, all right, I'm actually being texted like Tesa. So the big question is what context the judge asks us. And the thing is, if we look at the Diddy case, this is where things get tricky. The judge has already denied bail and called Diddy violent. He read him to filth. The judge was not happy. Okay. And said his community ties made him more dangerous, not less. So it's going to be hard for Diddy to rebrand himself. The judge also has letters from multiple victims who explicitly said he's a threat and allegedly wielded violence as a means of control. Diddy has access, money, and potential leverage over witnesses, and the judges don't like to be made a fool of. And if Diddy walks and does something shady again, and I think he actually will do something shady again, it reflects directly on the court. And you guys listen, the verdict of the jury threw us for a loop, but the fact that the judge said all this in court and denied bail, I mean, come on. I think we can put two together. This does not look like someone that's looking to cut Diddy a break. And him being able to walk straight with time served, baby, that's cutting Diddy a break. Okay, so why ask about the comparable Mann Act sentences? Okay, they said, listen, Tesa, there's three possible reasons. One, judicial cover. The judge might personally feel parole is risky, but is giving the appearance of objectivity by asking both sides for precedence. That way no one can claim bias later. Now he might be appealing his decision for when he sentences him. If Diddy's team appeals any eventual sentence, the judge can say, I reviewed the sentencing ranges and outcomes for similarly situated defendants under the Mann Act, and the sentence falls squarely within that range. Or the judge also might be testing boundaries. Maybe the judge is trying to find out how lenient or harsh they can go without being reversed. They could be considering probation in theory, but still leaning towards prison, unless Diddy's team provides extraordinary mitigating evidence. Now let's talk about that mitigating evidence. Remember when I told you guys that Diddy's team, I believe, are trying to shut up any content creators that are still criminal with them? And they feel like if they shut down the content creators, then they can start on this rebrand. Think about it. You shut us up by July, August, September, and then you got a little bit of October to get this Mother Teresa Hail Mary that they think is going to wipe Diddy's record clean. Unfortunately, a lot of evidence that the jury wasn't shown. A lot of witness statements and affidavit that the jury didn't see. The judge is privy to all that, and all that is going into his decision. Okay. So again, I actually said, but do you really think there is any type of risk of Diddy walking with just parole? I said no, but I had to take it to the people that actually practice law. And they said right now, Tessa, it is super low. And I'm like, okay, but why? Because y'all also said it was super low that he was going to beat the RICO charger with. Well, that's not true. They said the Cassie charges were super low. They said, one, the Mann Act is a serious federal charge. And even though it's sometimes used strategically in civil or hybrid cases, judges take it very seriously when paired with violence and pattern behavior. Judge Aaron, when he was asking for bail, said not only is he violent, but there is a pattern of violence. Public sentiment, they also will take this. It's low because public sentiment and visibility are sky high. And the DOJ knows this is a credibility test. Again, remember, Maureen Comey said this is chilling for victims. It will have a chilling effect.
Present,
and if the judge
and no longer has a voice who will pursue justice for her accusation.
And then suddenly,
as of the taken against Diddy, no expansion of the investigation, no isolation orders,
what do we think about
no
the judge?
equipment access,
This is just
no suspension of attorney
I
communication.
think the judge is doing due diligence, checking to see if there's any legal wiggle room. But based on prior comments, it sounds like this judge already sees Diddy as a danger. And it's just asking for case comparisons to legally reinforce whatever sentence he's already decided on. So unless Diddy pulls a legal rabbit off the hat, he's unlikely to walk with this parole. This request is probably more about sentencing justification than leniency. So, okay. So here's the thing, right? Okay. What type of language? And I just want to refresh your memory. The type of language that slams the door on parole or probation. And listen, let's get into this. He said Diddy was a batterer. This is not just commentary. That is legal language or phrase. It suggests a pattern of violence, not a one-time incident. and the judge is accepting allegations as credible and maybe treating them as established facts for purposes of sentencing or bail decision. And it undercuts any claim that did violent behavior is isolated, provoked, or misunderstood. Judges should casually just don't throw out that word unless they want it to stick around on the official record. He also said your client admitted he is violent and tried to preemptively enter a batter program. This is huge because pre-sentencing rehabilitation attempts like enrolling in a battery program are often seen by judges as damage control and not sincere The fact that Diddy knew to enroll in that program shows consciousness of guilt. He anticipated legal trouble. Admission of violence undercuts any "I didn't do it" or "this was exaggerated." And if the judge believes the omission wasn't just PR but rooted in truth, it justifies custodial sentencing over any community supervision. Okay. Now also the judge said this type of violence comes suddenly, quickly, and with no warning. That's a judicial finding of dangerous. They said that the phrasing means that the judge believes that he is not in control of his violence and that his behavior escalates. It's impulsive and it's unpredictable. Judges use this language to justify detention, especially in bail or sentencing memo. It also implies that even if he's calmed down, he could explode at any moment, which is true, and we can't risk that in the community. That is a direct argument against probation. Now, when you hear all that, I have to ask you, does this sound like a judge that's gonna let Diddy? I mean, let's be serious. Even though I'm scared for the Diddy goons. What are they gonna do? Hold a visual be standing outside with a boombox begging for him to be let out of jail. I can't wait to see this. They said so again. I don't think it does. Or actually, absolutely not. If anything, a judge is building a sentencing record that says even if this man has money, power, and influence, he is violent, he is dangerous, and he is incapable of safely existing in the community. He tried to game the system with the batter program. He admitted what he did, and I'm not playing along. Again, these statements make it legally and politically almost impossible for the judge to grant parole without massive backlash or risk if Diddy reoffends or contacts a victim after release. It's on the court. This isn't a judge looking for an excuse to show mercy. It's a judge locking in a narrative of violence, manipulation, and danger. Any future sentencing or probation denial can be backed by this exact language. So unless something drastic changes, probation or parole is extremely unlikely. You're watching a legal system slowly setting the foundation for a multi-year custodial sentence, or at the very, very least, strictly monitored. Okay, strictly monitored movements. Again, listen, at the end of the day, I don't know. It is what it is. We are expecting that Diddy will actually do some jail time. I don't think that the judge is actually going to take the time and go through all this and make all these notes just to let him out on the public. Now, will Diddy really offend? That's a different subject. I 100% think thinks he will, but you never know. Maybe in Mark Agnifilio's loving arms he has found a new version of himself, because we know that Mark is doing his best to uplift that man. Anyway, y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.
We are all human, man. We make mistakes. She did 2 mistakes in her video. I'm assuming they was mistakes. I don't think she wanted the video audio to play while she doing what she doing, right? But anyway, she right though. I don't think the judge is going through all this, and they know. That's why the judge kept him in jail with no bail. I thought anything you would get bail by now, because all the stuff that was keeping you in jail you beat, but they still kept him in jail. I was shocked over that right there. You know, I'm trying to stay biased. I think he should do some time. I think he should do 5 years. In fact, if I was a judge, I would give him 6 years just in case he do some good behavior. He'd be out in 5 or 7 years because he can get out with good behavior. Plus, he already did 1 year. So I want you to serve a little bit of time for what you did, bruh. That's real facts. And I'm basing all this over what you did to Cassie. So why would she say, well, he beat me up in the hallway. We saw the video. But all the other times I'm lying. I got proof for this one time, but all the other times I'm lying. If she lying, she should have added on, he beat me up every day and twice on Sundays. Look here, man. I think Diddy should at least be sentenced to 5 years. Now, whatever they subtract and good behavior and all that other bull, I don't know why things can't be just cut and dry in this United States sorry world. I don't know what the problem is. Everything got a twist and gray area. Too much gray area in all this stuff. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. My new sign. Peace out.